I wanted to ask, you're so happy this morning. I love this for you. I do want to, before I let you go,
Yeah.
you've got some new friends entering the Hall of Fame. New class,
Yeah.
smallest
Yep.
class in 20 years. Did a
Yep.
lot of talking to Emmett Smith and Chris Carter and company about that over the weekend.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dwight Freeney, of the committee only using those 4 instead of 7?
Look, you know what? They had a conversation with us last year in one of the meetings, and they said we're going to make it tougher to get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Really?
And they believe that it should be a little bit tougher. They wanted it to be a tough place to get into. They didn't want it to be, no offense to the other sports like basketball, you got this guy, that guy, the other, and they just kind of like, next you know, you have a class of like 10 people. They wanted to be more an exclusive place. So they decided this year, I didn't know how many they were going to go with, but they decided to go with, a smaller class and to make it tougher for guys to get in.
Do
And
you
and
like
you know
that?
what? Well, I like the exclusivity part of it. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people deserving to be in it. It's a hard job to do because you have so many great players who've done so many great things that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. And I think eventually everyone's going to get in that people feel like they should be there at some point. It's just the thing is at some point. When is that point? You have to go through this every year. You got guys like Reggie Wayne, who's been on the finalist list forever, and he hadn't got in. He's deserving of being in it. But you can't say some of the guys who've made it isn't deserving to be in it as well. So it's a tough decision, tough job of the guys who pick the Hall of Famers who's going to go in. And now it's going to get even tougher because they're making a tougher to get in, the criteria.
I mean, Adam Vinatieri, Reggie Wayne, 2 of your teammates, I'm
That's what I'm
sure that
saying.
you think deserve to be
They all
in.
deserve it, it's a tough thing. Like my first year, I thought, hey, this is the year for me. And it didn't happen
Mhm.
for me. I wasn't the first ballot, like everyone was saying I was going to be. Okay, fine. What's going to happen next year? And I thank God I got in. It's going to be like that for a lot of guys. It's not an easy process,
Why do
but,
you think that
I
why
just,
do you think they want to make it more exclusive now? I mean, it's been a debate. I like the exclusive.
Mhm,
I like that, I was a little surprised Kuechly didn't get in as a first ballot, but if it's, to keep the
mhm, mhm.
integrity and the high standard, why do you think that that's a thing right now? What made that change?
Um, You know what? I just think that for them, when they looked at it from different sports and how they wanted to
Hmm.
be, above all the others. And I'm not sure how many baseball guys get in. I know, I think that's one of those leagues that, only a few guys get in. So maybe more
Mhm.
like baseball. I don't know. But I know they didn't want it to be, as saturated, I guess, as basketball, where, you every year you're like, okay, this guy barely averaged, this amount of points a game. He's in the NBA Hall of Fame. And, it's kind of like, but it's not the NBA Hall of Fame, it's the Basketball Hall of Fame. So you got guys like Yao
Right.
Ming getting into the Basketball Hall of Fame, but he didn't have an amazing NBA career, but he had a great global career. So it's just kind of weird. So I think maybe that's what the NFL is trying to do, where it's like, look, it's going to be tougher. It's going to be when you make it, people are going to really like it was really hard
I
and they
like
didn't want to go
this.
down the path. I think that's just what
This
it
is my
is.
favorite thing I've heard you say today. I love that that's how it is. Hey, do you feel sad for Eli?
No, I don't. And I'm not saying that just because he's a quarterback. I promise you, I'm not saying
Why
that
aren't you
because he's a
sad for
quarterback.
Eli? Come on. You're not sad?
Because Eli was an amazing player. He had a great
Yes.
career. He's going to have
Yes.
his time in the sun.